I bought a refrigerator, and that's what all of this is about. I've been having to do a lot of adulting. And so on the last episode, I was talking in Spanish a little bit because I was like, I've had to do all of this business in Spanish, like finding the apartment and getting paperwork notarized. And like, I've had to do all these things like in Spanish. I don't know. Okay, but here's the project. I need a new refrigerator. So he asked me, are you okay with the refrigerator being secondhand or do you want it to be new? And he's like, okay, I have some options. So I want you to pick out the one that you like. But you need to hurry up and tell me because the people are like moving very quickly. Now I'm doing all of this upstairs, right? So I'm sitting in the loft area. Okay, they gonna deliver it by XYZ time. Oh, awesome. Like now I don't have to worry about a refrigerator. Man, that was so easy, right? I look at the area that the refrigerator has to go in. And I remember and see that it's built-in cabinetry, which means that any size refrigerator is not gonna fit. And I didn't take no kind of measurements into account about nothing. I'm just a girl. Like, I'm just a girl out here trying to build my life. Why are people assuming that I know things? I was about to walk across the street to the other store, and now security is talking to us, and I don't know what's going on, and I can't understand what's going on, and nobody's telling me what's going on. Yo solo necesito comprar una nevera. No entiendo sobre esta situación. Yo necesito comprar una nevera. He was like, well, we're going to have to hold him. I said, why are you holding me? 2025, y'all could tell me in the chat what it's been like for you. But for me, it came out swinging. Like from the very first day. I'm staying my ass home this year. I ain't going. I'm gonna be sitting here crisscross applesauce. Like, shh, don't nobody touch nothing. Don't nobody say nothing. Don't sneeze. What your grandma and them used to say, turn them lights off, unplug them things, and just sit down and just hush. Hey y'all, I'm Kimberlyn, and this is the Frolicking Truth, a soft space for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal. Here, joy meets justice. We calm our Black-ass nervous systems, we unmask, and we leave behind whatever that is trying to kill us. You're seen here, you're safe here, and you don't have to do this alone. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all of the things to you. Hey y'all, what up? We are here for another episode of the Frolicking Truth. So come on in here, find a comfortable spot, take a seat. I am grateful to have you here for episode 33. This is the Frolicking Truth podcast for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. It is okay if you don't identify with any of those descriptors. It just means that when you come ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to support. My name is Kimberlyn. What up? I am the host of this here podcast, the creator of this here universe over here in Minding My Black Ass Business World, and the creator of The Frolicking Truth. And this is a place where you get an opportunity to learn more about me, to learn about the things that are happening in my life, all the different sides of things that are happening. I am a very interesting individual. I do a lot of things, and I really am taking myself out of the box in this season. I'm really taking myself out of the box in this season. So I'm gonna just run down a few things just so you know who you're talking to. Okay, okay, cool, cool. So I am an intuitive melanated life coach. I help people develop deep personal relationships with God to understand their spiritual gifts and the unique way that God designed them to be. So that is what I primarily do. I also am a school improvement specialist. So I specialize in school climate and culture and school transformation. I'm also a scientist, a biologist in particular, who currently is obsessed with brain research and herbalism. So that I'm also an artist. I paint and I'm a creative. I dance. I'm a podcaster. I used to have talk shows. I'd be out here talking about things on the internet, motivational speaker, visionary, all sorts of things. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say, child, if any of that resonates with you, stick around for a minute because I have a lot of updates that I want to share about the things that have been going on and the things that I have been working on behind the scenes. But before we get into any of that, I want to start off with the Auntie Update. And the Auntie Update is where I give you more insight into what's happening in my world. We might laugh a little bit, cry a little bit, what have you. But this is a place to kind of relate and then also give updates about what's happening here in the universe. So the first thing I want to start with is Raina. So Raina is my hair. And Raina is spelled Reina. Shout out to Raina. And Raina's emoji is the crown because Reina is the Spanish word for queen. So let's talk about Raina, girl, because oh my God. Okay, so Raina and I really met in 2020. I did a big chop, and it was really just because I was about to get braids and my hair was tangled and I didn't feel like detangling it. So then I was like, guess we going natural. And that's just kind of how it happened. But since then, I've been on this journey to build a better relationship with Raina because for a while I would think about doing my hair like a chore. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go do my hair and like it's gonna take all day and like all of that. And it's just really felt like it was a lot and I wasn't finding joy in that. So I decided that I actually met this lady who when I used to live in Pennsylvania, and she had done her doctoral study on natural hair care and are on natural hair. And one of the premises that she told me about within her study is that people will go natural, but then you still try to control the way that your hair shows up. So you still try to get it to curl a particular way, or you try to like do twist styles so it'll have this particular thing instead of really understanding what your hair does naturally. And that's always kind of stuck with me. And so I've gradually been going through this process of like, what happens if I don't do a twist out? Like, what is my natural curl pattern? What is a natural like wash and go? Like, what does that look like and sound like? So, um, I've been kind of doing that experiment and I've talked here a little bit about wanting to do my own products and like really figure out what that looks like and that sounds like so I can make sure that I am loving the process of taking care of my hair. I want it to be something I enjoy, something that I look forward to, a time where I get to pour back into myself and just really allow myself to meet Raina. So we've been working on this relationship, right? And over the course of the year, when I tell you I've learned a lot about sis, okay, one of the things I've learned about sis is that I need to wash her more often. Okay. Now, anybody here who is in natural hair care, they're going to be like, we've been telling y'all this. We've been telling y'all this. Understood. And also now I understand. Because one of the reasons that it would be so difficult for me to wash my hair is because I would wait like 2, 3 weeks, maybe if I could stretch it out to 4. And then by that point, my hair is just like and I have to detangle it because your hair sheds like every day. And if you're not actively running a comb through it every day, then of course some of that hair is still in there. So now it's tangled and now it's taking me forever to do it. What I have discovered is if I wash my hair once a week, it'd be easy breezy, beautiful, Melanated girl. I have been washing Raina more frequently. And then I've been looking for products that I want to use or products that inspire me to I like the way they make my hair feel. So I had been using Donna's Recipe by Tabitha Brown, and I have been using that for quite a while. Also, I'm outside of the country, and it's really difficult to get it. I can get it shipped by Amazon, but also I can't get all the pieces of the system because she has the shampoo, conditioner, a leave-in, a cream, and an oil, and it's just a lot. So I've been trying to figure out like you're gonna have to make your own products, girl. Like you're not gonna be able to keep tapping in to the US to get what you need. Like I'm sure somebody here has hair care products. They got people here with hair, you know? So I've really been trying to do the work to get into those circles. A couple weeks ago, one of my friends was here and we went to the park. And I appreciate hanging out with her because she's very much like spirit led. And so, anybody who's been out with me, you'll hear me. There's been a point where I've said something like, I don't know, let your spirit like lead the way. And you've like kind of gone through this practice of like following whatever you feel like your spirit is telling you. So, she's like that. My friend is like that. So we're walking in the park and they have this festival. A festival is very not a market, like with a bunch of tents and vendors. So we're walking and she says, let's go over there. And we see this beautiful Afro-Colombian young woman who is standing at this booth. So we go over there, come to find out she is there on behalf of her mother, who is a chemist who has a hair care line. So she's telling us about the hair care line and she's showing us the different things. So they have different parts of their system. They have a shampoo, conditioner, and then they have this gel. And she also has skincare drops, facial drops for hyperpigmentation. She has an almond oil elixir, which is really good for massages and deep moisturization. She's got like a few different things, right? So the daughter is like sitting there telling us all the things and she speaks English, right? So she's talking to us and we're just laughing and she's like, oh my God, you all are such a vibe. Like it was so cute. She was the cutest. So we really connected, you know. So at this time we're like, girl, we need to exchange Instagram, like all of that, you know. We live here. And so anyway, she's like, yeah, so my mom developed this. My mom is a chemist. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a biologist. And I lately have been thinking about getting back into the chemistry lab because I need to figure out these different products and things. And I said, I want to meet your mom. So she gets her mom on the phone. So I talked to her mom a little bit. And I share with her that, you know, I would like to meet her, but first I want to try the products so I can give a real like review with the products. So I did that the other day. And this is actually, so today is what? What's today? Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. Today is Christmas Eve, by the way. So today is Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. And I washed my hair on Monday, not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. So that was the 22nd. Then on the 15th, I washed my hair on the 15th. And today is the ninth day or eighth day. And I'm gonna wash it today, but it's still holding a defined curl. Like my curls, and it's not crunchy, it's not shrunk up. Like y'all have not really seen Raina like hang out in this state for very long. She'll do it for a few days, but then once she starts to kind of shrivel up, you know, and dry up. But my hair feels really, really good. I really like these products. I really like these products. So I ordered some full size products yesterday and I was talking with the creator and I was reminding her who I am. And she's like, oh my God, my daughter was so excited to meet y'all. And it was such a good time and all of that. So she said, I said, I want to meet you. I want to sit down, and talk to you and learn, about your products and who you are and all of that. So she's like, oh my God, yeah, just let me know. So after the holiday, I told her, let's, sit down and talk. But I'm really excited about that connection. Also, turns out the daughter models. I knew it. Like when I'm like, that girl, that's a model right there, baby. So anyway, that was just a really good connection. So I said all that to say, baby, Raina is feeling good and looking good, and she smells like hibiscus, and I want to say it's some jasmine in it. That's what the products smell like. Oh my God, it's so good. Now I know that they probably don't yet have international shipping. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're not in Colombia, you probably cannot get these products. But what I would like you to do is go over to their Instagram page and follow their Instagram page and leave some sunflowers in the comments so they'll know that y'all came from over here. Okay. So the name of the company is Ancestral Boutique. And this is the shampoo. Now, this is a full size bottle. Okay. And this bottle is like, I want to say $8. And so I don't have it in here. The travel size bottle was maybe like, travel size got to be small. So it was probably like this big and it was good enough for one wash. So this is a full size bottle for like $8. And so that's the shampoo. And then they have the treatment conditioner. So you leave this on for a little while. I want to say it was like 5 to 10 minutes. You leave that on. And then they have this 3-in-1 gel. Where is it? There it is. So that's 3-in-1 gel. And the gel is what kind of locks the curls in. So this is the travel size of the gel. This is the regular size of the gel. I wound up using maybe about 80% of this travel size for my whole head. I don't know that I will put the same amount next time, but I feel like I'll get a few uses out of this. And also, this is like $8 as well. So that is what Raina has been up to, is getting out here, getting some new products. So yeah, the name of their company again is Ancestral Boutique. It is a Afro-Colombian woman who is a chemist. Her name is Selena, and her daughter Kat, and they are like pretty cool. So I'll keep y'all posted on what that looks like and sounds like. I sent her a video the other day so that she could post it on the page. I'll show y'all here too, so you'll be able to see it. Hold on. So that was before my hair was really dry and then just not really defined. And so this is after. This is right after. So my hair is still wet here, but I could see like the curls were starting to come together. So this is a couple days later, and you can see it's pretty defined. And so what I have to figure out is for that top area of Raina, she just don't be that area up there in that crown up here. It just don't be right sometimes. So I got to figure out that part, and that's why I feel like I may need to put more attention with like moisturization and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's what Raina's been up to. All right. So we'll see what 2026 has to hold for Raina and her journey. I definitely would challenge you all to name your hair and then start to like define your hair's personality. They do have personalities. It's really interesting. So once you kind of go on that journey, please do share and what that looks like and sounds like for you on your own natural hair journey. And even if you are don't have hair on your head, and let's say you have a beard, that's also hair and natural hair that you need to take care of and condition and like all that kind of stuff. So what does that look like for you to really build a relationship with that part of your body? The next healing circle that we have is going to be on Saturday, January 10th from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern. And if you would like to register for that, please go to tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. Again, tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. This is a space that is exclusively for Black women. So if you're not a Black woman, maybe you know a Black woman who needs to be at the healing circle. The one that we had in December, we had a couple people who returned, and then we had a whole new group of people. So the word is getting out, and people are referring others to be able to come. Every time we have a yoga flow, and we have affirmations, and we also have like targeted conversation. So it's a really nice way to be able to connect with others and remember that there are people across the world who are Black women who are experiencing similar things. So it gives us an opportunity to really have community. So again, if you would like to join that, you can register at tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. Also, speaking of connecting, in 2026, we're going to have our Sisterhood Heals book study. Keep in mind that Sisterhood Heals is the book that was written by Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. She is the founder of Therapy for Black Girls, and she wrote this book in 2023. So we are going to do a book study on that, and I'm working out logistics and what that looks like and sounds like. But if you are looking to unpack how you developed your understanding of what sisterhood means, or if you are wanting to build community with other women and just really have healthy sisterhood relationships, this would be a phenomenal place for you to find yourself. So if you go to tinyurl.com/sisterhoodheals, tinyurl.com/sisterhoodheals, you can register for that. So I wanted to also uplift the internship program that we have. So I talked about it a little bit last week, but we had not finalized some things, and now those things are finalized. So I can talk a little bit more freely about what is happening. But so y'all know my brand bestie, Shekinah. She and I have been working to develop an internship program that really goes just beyond the practical skills, but also has the personal development component that so many of us need. So, a huge perk of the internship program is that those who are a part of it will have an opportunity to experience Discover Your Destiny. And Discover Your Destiny is my flagship life coaching program, if you will. It is the program that you walk through when you are looking to become a life coach. But even if you are not looking to become a life coach and just want a deeper personal relationship with God and really just want to understand your gifts and how that manifests and what that looks like and sounds like, Discover Your Destiny is it. So every intern will have the opportunity to be a part of Discover Your Destiny, so that they are not just doing work, but they're doing work that's actually aligned with their purpose and what they know of their purpose at this particular time. What if the thing you've always called too much was the exact thing God designed on purpose? This is for the ones who've always known they were different. Too sensitive, too loud, too knowing, too intuitive, too woo-woo. But what if your sensitivity is actually your superpower? What if your intuition was your inheritance? Discover Your Destiny is a 10-week sacred journey back to yourself. We explore the design of your soul, your spiritual gifts, and the unique way that God speaks to you. This isn't church. It's not a rule book. It's not a performance. It's the moment you stop chasing approval and start walking in divine alignment. You'll gain clarity, language, and confidence around who you are and what you are here on the earth to do. You'll learn the real voice of God. And if you feel called to go on to become a certified intuitive melanated life coach, this is where that path begins. There are 2 ways to enter this sacred container: the Destiny track, full investments and coaching experience, or the Divine Exchange track, where internship meets soul work. You'll support podcasting, content creation, or brand development behind the scenes while learning how your unique gifts benefit the collective. Your knowing isn't a flaw. It's the fingerprints of God. This is your invitation, and I hope that you'll answer. So we are looking for Black women 18 and up who are thinking about exploring content and wanting to give about 10 hours a week to be able to develop some of the projects that we have going on behind the scenes. And when I tell you projects we have going on behind the scenes, child, I'm talking animated things, I'm talking books, I'm talking visual media, I'm talking music. Like there's a lot that is going on behind the scenes. And so we're looking for people who have particular skill sets who are really wanting to make that happen with us, and also to be inspired to learn how they are able to do that for themselves. So the name of our collective is Found Her Future Collective, are Black women owned. So again, all of our interns, we're looking for Black women 18 and up. And then there are some particular areas that we need in particular. So social media managers, content editors and managers, brand partnerships and sponsorships, and content development specialists. We're really looking to build out this content portion to get the word out about the things that we're doing and to take some of the load off in different places. So if you are somebody who has experiences with this, or you are willing to put in like the work to learn how to be this. So for instance, like I teach people how to produce podcasts, right? If that's something that you are like, yeah, I really want to know like how to do that, that's the skill set that you're able to get through this program, right? So you can apply at tinyurl.com/found her future internship, tinyurl.com/found her, HER, future internship. And yeah, so we are really looking to get the word out about that. Again, it may not be for you, but it may be for somebody that you know. So that the applications are going to be open until the middle of January. And so I'll put the information into the description so you'll have that. But we're just really looking for women who are ready to make a change and to really think about what that looks like within their own context and how they want to use those gifts to support the collective. So, found her future. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, please pass that along and around, and all of the things would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. I think that's all my announcements for real this time. Yo, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve, and it's about to be the new year. And I want to take us back to my first day. Let me say it like this. I want to take us back to the closing of 2024, coming into 2025, and talk about how that started off for me. In 2023, when I had the mental health crisis, I was on a digital nomad visa. That digital nomad visa took me through June of 2024. Then in June of 2024, I had to leave the country and come back to reset to a tourist visa. So I did that and then I renewed. So come December of 2024, I had to leave and come back again to reset for 2025. Okay. So the plan was to go to Panama. And Panama was closest. There was a direct flight. I was just going to go over the winter break. And it was a lot. It was kind of high stakes because I had messed up my visa because I miscounted when I was saying like I came back under the tourist visa. I thought I was supposed to renew it in October. I was actually supposed to renew it in September. So because of that, I wound up having a fine and then I had to leave. But they gave me enough time for me to be able to leave at the end of the month so I could come back and reset and it'd be like nothing ever happened when I got back here in January. So I was planning to go on this trip to Panama to be able to reset my visa. But I also knew that they were going to ask me questions about why I hadn't honored the rules and why do I have like this special circumstance. I was also ready for that. So it was kind of high stakes and it was a lot that was going on, but I wanted it to be a peaceful trip. I was like, I just wanted to be peaceful. So I had met up with this lady. I had been doing some panels and there was a lady that lived in Panama. And so I had reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm coming in town. Are you going to be around? I know it's New Year's, but you may have things to do or whatever. So she's like, oh, yeah, I would absolutely love to I'll come and get you from the airport. Like, no problem at all. So I'm like, oh, great. All right, awesome, wonderful. So everything is working out well, right? So she comes and she picks me up. We wind up going to a brunch. While we were there, there were some other Black women from the US that have retired there in Panama. So they had a brunch. So we went to the brunch and I met all of them and exchanged information. We wound up going she had a doctor's appointment. So we wound up going to the doctor's appointment. So we got to see how healthcare works there. And it was very interesting, right? So her name is Michelle. So it's time to drop me off at the Airbnb because you know how you have to check in after a certain time, right? So it's like usually you can't check in before 3 or something like that, right? So she had kind of, kept me out and doing the things. She's like, all right, girl, so I'm gonna go ahead on and drop you off because she was going out with her husband that night for New Year's. So this is Michelle. So she gets me to the Airbnb. We're standing outside the Airbnb, and I was like, girl, let me take a picture, like to remember this. Thank you so much. So we take this picture. I walk away from the car to go into the Airbnb. All I have is a backpack because I'm not going to be there very long. So I have my backpack. I'm walking, and the next thing you know, I bust my face wide open on the sidewalk. I fell. And I was so confused about what happened. So Michelle tells me that she was sitting in her car. We took the picture. She went and got in her car. She was checking some messages. And I was walking into the building. She said she looked 1 minute. I was walking. She looked back. She looked again. I was on the ground. And then she said, this is funny, but not funny. But she was like, I didn't know if it was some kind of welcoming ritual or like something I did. Because we have been talking about how, I've been on the spiritual journey. She was like, I've known people, so I don't know. And she said, I didn't know that something was wrong until somebody came out with a towel to help you out. So the lady that was coming to the place that was meeting me at the lady that was meeting me at the apartment to give me the keys, she was there waiting and saw me fall. So then she gives me this towel. Sí. No bueno. Oh my God. Y'all, I just bust my whole face. Sí, sí. The police wound up coming. It was fast. It might have been within like a matter of like 2 or 3 minutes. The police were there. And so they're like, you gonna need stitches. And I'm like totally American and saying to myself, I don't have money for that. Like I can't, I don't have money for that. And like I can't do stitches. So it's so crazy because that's how the American healthcare system has traumatized us that if we're in a space where we actually need assistance, we're like, I can't afford it. So it's fine. It's fine. So they were like, well, we need to you need to go to the hospital because they was trying to have me go in the ambulance. And I was like, I don't have money for this. No, it's fine. Like it's not. And I was like, So then Michelle said, okay, I'll take you. I'll take you to the hospital or we wound up going to an urgent care center. We did stop by a hospital though first. And so Panama has a private healthcare system and then they have a public healthcare system. In the private healthcare system, like the hospitals, this particular hospital, they was like they wanted thousands of dollars. Hey, what? What are you talking about? So we promptly got back in that car. Then we wound up going to the urgent care. And so Michelle, while she's driving me, she's also a veteran. So she very much like went into, I guess, soldier down mode is what the comments wound up telling us later on. But she's talking to the group chat and she's talking to the people and she's like, hey, Kimberly fell and she needs to get stitches. Like, what's the best place for us to go? So the group chat is very much like, get her here, do this, da da da. So we wind up going to the urgent care center and they wind up patching me up. Now, I have never had stitches in my life before. And the doctor, I can't remember his name right now. I'm gonna have to go back and remember his name. But trigger warning that there is like blood here, but I want to show you all. You can look away if you don't want to see this. But I'm laying there. So he's like, I'm going to tell you everything and how it goes. And I'm going to tell you everything before I do it. So he's like, this is a needle that is anesthesia. This is this. Like, now I'm going to do this. Like, it was so crazy. And I was still trying to process what even happened because how did this even happen? I don't understand what is going on. It was just so much that was going on at the time. Um, so the doctor stitches me up and he gets me together. And so let me go back to show y'all. Oh, let me show you my after. So Michelle winds up taking me back to the Airbnb. I carefully walk inside so I do not fall. And I spend New Year's Eve night bandaged at the chin, sitting in an Airbnb. By the time I got home, nothing was open, everything was closed. I didn't have anything to eat or drink. It was so crazy. And so let me show y'all how I wound up falling because I want you to see the area. So this is the area that I was staying in. All right. So it has all these like different colored, multicolored bricks and all of that are there. So this is where Michelle's car was parked. Okay. So I get out of the car and I walk over to the building. Now, if you look at this here, I don't know if you can see it or if you can't, but this area right here, this is actually flat. This is stairs, and this is stairs. So you can probably see it there. So I'm gonna let it keep playing. But if you're looking here from a different angle, it just looks like it's flat. It looks like if this one's flat, this one's flat, this one's flat. So I'm thinking that this is just all flat ground. So I start walking and I trip here and bust my chin right here on this step. So I'm walking up to it to show like this is where you can see the step. That's where I tripped. And then where it's this, that's where I had bust my chin, where they had to clean my blood up off of the sidewalk. But if you zoom out, you may not be able to tell that those are stairs. So it's very poorly designed. It was a lot. What I will say about my experience with the Panamanian healthcare system is that they swooped in very quickly and they got me stitched up. And there is no scar. I'm gonna put a picture in here of my chin so y'all can see now. There is no scar. And I really thought I was like, well, I'm glad that it's on the underside of my chin because at least you can see it. Like there's a little like thing there because I know, but there is no scar. And so I appreciated that. I appreciated how kind the doctor was, even the people that came in the ambulance, like they were all very, very kind and very, very patient. But that's how I started my year off. That's how I started my year off. Okay. And it was a wild, wild, wild ride through 2025. And I can only imagine what things were like for you all because come January, once that man got into the office, he wound up slicing and dicing all sorts of things. So all of my contracts just dried up into thin air. I wound up, we had to leave our apartment. We went to another apartment. There was construction that was next to that apartment. It felt like it was drilling in my brain the whole time. And that is where I started the Frolicking Truth. So, one of the biggest accomplishments that I have for this year is starting the Frolicking Truth. I knew that I needed a space to be able to process what I was feeling and what was happening. And again, I just shared how the year started off, right? So, I knew I needed that space. And I'm just so grateful to have had this space over the past 33 weeks as we have gathered here to talk about things, to unpack things, to learn different things. It really has been something that I've looked forward to and something that I am proud of. Like, I'm really proud of the space that has been created here at the Frolicking Truth. And those of you who come every week to hang out and listen to the stories and to talk in the chat and all of that, it really warms my heart. And I want you to know that I really do, really, really do appreciate that. So, I do have some questions that I want us to think through as we prepare to close out this year. Last episode, we talked about rest and the different types of rest that we need to have. So, there are 8 different types of rest. And I shared a snippet from an episode that a mental health panel that I did when I used to be with Beautiful Brown Girls with Jasmine Forts and Dr. Linnell R. Plummer. And it was real powerful. So if you have not had a chance to go back and watch that, please do. I also have the link in the description for you to be able to watch the full mental health panel. So having said that, the first question is, how are you powering down as the year is coming to a close? And what I'll say for me is after this, like I'm gonna put this out, and this is very much like on the light edit tip. After this, I don't plan on doing anything else but painting for a few days. I really have some energy that I need to transmute. Earlier, I was talking to my Patreon, yo, it's crazy. If you ever hear somebody reference the refrigerator story, child, it's wild. So I was telling them about that. I've started dating again, and that's been wild as all get out. So the tea is over in the Patreon, right? But having said that, especially being back in the city, I think it's really important to just take time to process all the things that I've experienced over the last few weeks and turn that into something beautiful. So I am going to be doing a new art series. I set up my art area just recently. Again, and if you're in a Patreon, I put a little vlog in there. Y'all came with me to the store and everything. Um, so yeah, but I set that up and I want to do things that bring me joy for the remainder of this year, and whether that is baking something or making a special meal or making a smoothie or just sitting on the balcony, like just staring at the ceiling while I'm laying on my rug. I want to enjoy the fact that I have gotten myself to a place where I trust my brain and I trust my spirit, and I'm in a new season of life. So, powering down for me looks like giving myself some time to really just honor that. I've also been rewatching Being Mary Jane. Also, something is coming because of that. We're gonna have a podcast or something that's gonna come out. So if y'all have not if y'all ain't never watched Being Mary Jane, or if you've been thinking about rewatching Being Mary Jane, child, I'm watching it and it's like I am watching this for the first time. I don't remember any of this stuff. And also, I am locked in. So that's also something else that I'm doing to power down, just allowing myself to take these creative journeys, or because I get to look at it from a few different ways. And that's something I'm also enjoying, is looking at some of my favorite movies and my favorite series through different lenses. So, like, not just the story, but looking at the props and the technical pieces and the camera shots. And so I've started like researching, because again, I got projects. As I'm telling you, I need these interns, y'all. I got projects. So yeah, like that, though it might sound like it's work, it feels like powering down because my creative energy just feels like it needs a chance to get out. I also plan on doing some yoga and just really being intentional with stretching and honoring that my body needs to move. So, since I have a nice, soft, plush area that I trust, like I don't get, y'all know I live with OCD, so I don't get like the ick in my body. It feels comforting. So, I really do want to like just be in that, nestled in, if you will, into that. And, just listening to music is something else that feels like powering down for me. Um, it allows me to again take brain field trips and burning my incense. I also, y'all, I went to the store. I think I might have talked about this last time. I don't remember. But listen, down there at the store that I was at while I was buying the stuff. Oh, y'all wasn't here for the refrigerator story. There's a store called Home Center that's kind of like Home Depot or Lowe's in the US. Their garden area. Yo, I was about to walk from out of there with an entire jungle. I just bought a palm, mini palm for $5. The whole tree. They have like fiddle leaf, palms. They had the most lush plants I have ever seen in actual trees. I didn't see nothing for more than $10. Okay. What I want you to know, powering down looks like for me is being able to look out and see the green. I can bring it to me. I'm about to have a whole jungle, is what I'm trying to say to you. Okay. That's what I'm gonna have to do. If you would like to donate to the Kimberlyn Plant Parent Fund, you can do that at $ Cash App, $ Kimberland Jackson, or Venmo at Kimberlyn Jackson. Okay, I'm accepting all donations. Thank you so much. This is very much housewarming vibes over here. I would love to have some plants. Okay, so that's also something though, is I want to plant some sunflowers, and I want to like get my herb garden back up and going and all of that. So I think that's the next project after my art studio. So again, if you're in the Patreon, you'll get to come along on that journey with me and see what that looks like and sounds like. So those are the things that I feel like I'm doing to power down as this year comes to a close. Now, the next question says, what do you need to intentionally celebrate? What do you need to intentionally celebrate? Man, I'm just happy to be here. You understand me? Yo, I'm still here. I'm still here, here, here. I'm still here. I am still here. This year tried to take me from out of here, bro. I am still here. I am still here with a functional brain that is creative and um operating in the vein of greatness. Like I am still here. I am still here. I am still here and I feel peaceful. I feel happy. I feel settled in my body. I feel calm. I feel energetic. I feel aligned. I feel like I did this. With God, of course. But like, the amount of Spanish that I had to speak, the amount of resources that I had to tap into and relationships that I had to build. And like, I am just so proud of myself that I am still here. I also celebrate, like I said, the frolicking truth and having created this space. I celebrate having a brand new, oh my God, I forgot to tell y'all. Here we go. Oh my God. Exclusive. Let me pull up the clip from our new podcast called From Auntie with Love. Oh my God. Let me pull it up, y'all. I almost forgot that I promised y'all this. I almost forgot, but I just remembered. Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all. So this is something else that I really want to celebrate. And it hasn't even like really come out yet, but it's gonna come out in the new year. And this is our new podcast called From Auntie with Love.
I don't know if y'all can tell it now, but we're excited.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to From Auntie with Love, a sisterverse of Black women reimagining life together.
They told me to put a pinch of brown sugar.
Who is they?
Who is
they?
She's like a cookout.
I'm trying to think back. You don't want to like go to a lounge? Four aunties in different seasons of life with stories to tell, thoughts to spill, wisdom to drop, and side eyes to give.
That's how we'll have a mindful moment, a mindful booty moment.
Okay.
I'll lead us through a mindful booty moment.
One of my newfound commandments is that I will hold space for change and forgiveness.
Do not show up to anywhere that I do not know that you are coming, especially my house.
You're going to find me with a drink high in the air in one hand and my body low.
Yeah. Let's get into the conversations that don't usually make it to the table, but they should. With love. Always. Yeah! I can't believe I almost forgot to share that. I am over here. My cheeks are hurting. I am smiling so hard. Oh my God. So that is the sneak peek trailer of From Auntie with Love. We still got some tweaking to do, to find our vibes and things, but that's gonna be coming out in the new year. And so it's myself, Shekinah, Sierra, and Vanessa, and we're all a different type of aunties. So we tell the backstories about that. We also get into the things, child. We be. So that is something that I very intentionally want to celebrate. It has been so much fun developing this container and just developing a relationship with these ladies. It has been an amazing time in the way that we show up for each other and inspire each other and create space for each other. Like it has just been such a phenomenally positive experience. And so I'm really excited about that. So that will be our new podcast from Auntie with Love. And that is something that I want to intentionally celebrate. The last thing that I want to say I want to intentionally celebrate is the way that I have connected back to my spirit. Throughout this year, I've had to make a lot of decisions, like a lot of things have been happening. And I've really been able to give myself the opportunity to make those decisions in ways that I feel best honor myself. And even when other people didn't understand. And there are times that I've said I was going to do something or whatever, and people didn't understand, but I knew it was what I needed to do for myself. So I'm really proud of myself that I have honored my spirit. And that is intentional work that I want to continue to do moving on, because I have noticed that there are places I need to tighten up a little bit, if you will, firm up some boundaries, firm up some no's, realign, if you will. So that's the biggest thing that I really want to focus on for this upcoming year. But I would be stone cold nuts if I did not take the time to acknowledge how my spirit has kept me thus far, how God has been speaking to me and guiding me and connecting me to people and aligning things and resources and like all of that. It has been beautiful in the midst of all of the things. God has been there the entire time. And I'm just so grateful that I built a relationship with God and I built routines to be able to intentionally infuse God into my day. And it gives me a sense of peace that I don't think I would have had if I had not curated that relationship. So, what do I need to intentionally celebrate? That me and God, we like this. We got a thing. Okay, I'm God's favorite. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I am. You may be as well, but I am definitely God's favorite. So I'm just excited about that. I'm happy to be in that place. And man, I've had to fight through a lot, yo, to still be here, bruh. For real. For real. I've really had to live through a lot. And so we riding this thing. We riding this thing till these wheels fall off. Feel me? All right. So anyway, okay, so the last question is, what do you need to intentionally release? Ooh, let me take a minute. Let me think about that. I want to intentionally release limited thinking that comes from a place of fear. There are times, especially with all of the financial difficulties that I've had this year with everything that's happening in the government and education, I find myself like frozen because I have to like manage resources and I don't know. And, I want to make sure that I'm not on the street and like all of that. I really want to release the fear that I have that God is not going to do what God said God was going to do. I want to release that. And I really want to be able to walk in such boldness of knowing my dad's going to take care of this. Like my Sky Daddy, he's gonna take care of this. I was sharing earlier in the Patreon about this refrigerator story. And I was saying to them, like, I'm just a girl. Like, I am just a girl trying to figure things out. Can you talk to them? Because I don't know. I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to be able to throw my hands up and be like, God, can you take care of that? Because I don't know what to do. And trust that God is going to take care of that. I often in the midst of the things still have to do a lot of work to trust that it's going to work out, and it really can do a number on my mental health and my emotional health because I'm just worried and I'm in my head, and I really want to do a better job this upcoming year of trusting that I am on an assigned mission, right? I need y'all to know none of this stuff that I'm doing did I like wake up and be like, I should go try to save the world. That's not what I thought. But I will say this. When I was 8, I remember getting from somewhere. I don't know if it was an audible voice. I don't know where it came from, but I specifically remember holding in my spirit that I was going to be a breaker of generational cycles. I don't know what in particular, but I remembered that, right? But the way that I thought that was going to happen was by having my own family, and I was going to have healthy love in my family, and I was going to have a healthy um partnership, and like that's what I thought it was going to look like. And clearly God was like, ha, girl, one family, get out of here. You're about to impact people across the world, you know? Um, so that's been really interesting to like kind of wrap my mind around, but I have not ever like I haven't pictured this. And I'm always reminded, I was talking about this last week, that Ephesians 3:20 says God can do greater than you could ever think or imagine according to the power that works in us. And I have a big imagination. And also, I've never imagined this for my life. And so it's interesting, even like when I got here to the apartment, like I knew when I got this loft, I knew that I wanted a loft. I knew that I wanted to see like a certain thing, like this rug that I'm sitting on. I knew that I wanted that. I knew that I wanted the art area. Like I know that I want these things. And I was walking up the stairs one day and I said, I've seen this. Like I've been here. I've seen this. So I want to release the fear that maybe the things that are inside my spirit are lies. Maybe, God didn't mean that. Maybe it was the spaghetti sauce. Like I want to release that, and I want to be able to embrace everything that God wants to do in me and through me. Let's go. Let's go. Because I know that there are people that are waiting on me. I know that there are people who have visions and have things that they want to do out here in this world. And it's just a matter of us linking up to ignite the spark. And it might be because they came in to discover your destiny, or we have a conversation. Like I know that there are people, and I don't want to be afraid of that. I want to be able to embrace that fully and holistically with boldness and confidence. So I am releasing the fear that gets in the way of that. And I intentionally release the anxiety of maybe God is a liar. I know God ain't no liar. I know God ain't a liar. I know God's not a liar. So it's like something's going to have to get figured out. And I don't, because again, I'm but a girl. I am but your daughter down here trying to figure the things out. I don't know. You know everything. You tell me, Um, I'm very much trying to be on that, just trusting that God is going to do what God is going to do. So I intentionally release that fear, that nervousness, that anxiousness, and those limiting thoughts and experiences that have not allowed me to walk in the fullness of my gifts and my talents and my callings, because I do know who I am and I do know who God has created me to be. And so I need to keep that in the forefront and remember that my words have power. Remember that I'm God's favorite. Of course, it's going to work out. I don't know how, and that's not none of my business. You understand? That's not look, this cup say my business. This is a Tabitha Brown business. Let me tell you what ain't my business. Is what God need to do. Okay, that's not my business. All right, now you just let me know, get me on the hotline and let me know where I need to show up, and I'll be there and ready. Okay, but I don't need to be in the orchestrating of the things. You handle that because you said that's your business. You understand? Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to release, and then also call in for 2026. Okay. So I want you to answer those questions as well. and think through what your responses are. So, again, the questions were, how are you powering down as the year is coming to a close? What do you need to intentionally celebrate? And what do you need to intentionally release? Okay. Now, come this next year, y'all. It's I don't know what my word is yet. Last year my word was alignment. For 2025, there was some alignments that happened for sure. I don't know what my word is for 2026. So I'm gonna be thinking on that. And when I get back, that's what we'll talk about, is what our word is for the new year and how we want to guide the things that we do within the new year around that word. Okay. So y'all be thinking on that. That's your soul work, if you will. That's your long-term soul work, is to think about what your word is for 2026. For now, I want you to think through those questions. Okay. So again, the three questions are, how are you powering down as the year is coming to a close? What do you need to intentionally celebrate? And what do you need to intentionally release? So I have two closing thoughts that I want to share as we prepare to transition into this next year here on the planet. As we step into the new year, may we trust ourselves enough to listen and be brave enough to honor the wisdom that meets us there. The new year does not ask us to become someone new. It invites us to trust the signals our bodies and spirits have been speaking all along. I would like to invite you to really take some time to power down and listen to your spirit. Maybe that looks like journaling, or it might look like some type of creative expression like art, but really giving yourself some time to really think through those questions about the things that you are proud of, the things that you are intentionally releasing, and what it looks like for you to really power down during this season of transition. I thank you all again for all of your support over this past year. I look forward to what we are going to create in 2026. I am excited for those of you who are going to show up, our new subscribers that are going to show up and enter this universe. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being here. Happy New Year! See y'all in 2026. Thank you for listening to The Frolicking Truth, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. Please be sure to like, rate, and comment. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Minding My Black Ass Business, and follow me on all social platforms. Until next time.